Today's lesson is Christmas in Strasbourg, a festive winter getaway. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
Hello, I'm Kiki.
And today we're traveling to Europe. This is a good time to go to Europe because in lots of countries there, they're preparing for the Christmas holiday, which will be happening at the end of December. And we're going to go to a city in France called Strasbourg, and they know how to celebrate the Christmas holiday in style. So, yeah, you should talk to your travel agent and book your tickets right now before it's too late.
And wintertime is always very exciting because there are so many different ways to celebrate Christmas. And you can see all these different festive decorations. So a festive decoration would be things that just make the whole environment really exciting and makes you get in the mood to celebrate.
Indeed, it's festive, it's exciting, it's interesting, and it's a winter getaway. A getaway, of course, is a special trip you take to get away from it all, to get away from your normal life, which probably involves fighting traffic and going to school and going to work. You just need to get away from it all and remind yourself that you are still a human being. Okay, let's start our lesson right now by listening to the first part, and we'll be right back.
Christmas in Strasbourg, a festive winter getaway. Just across the Rhine River from Germany, the lovely French city of Strasbourg draws travelers from far and wide to enjoy its unique blend of culture, architecture, and seasonal enchantment. Known for its rich history and warm atmosphere, Strasbourg offers a variety of attractions that give it a timeless appeal.
大家好，第一部分我们来介绍 blend 这个名词有混合或是融合的意思。例如 The blend of spices in the soup was what made it taste so good. 那些混合香料使汤变得非常美味。又或者说 The exhibition featured a blend of music, video, and painting. 这个展览以音乐、影片以及绘画的融合为特色。另外 blend 这个字也能当作动词，意思是混合或是交融。例如 This game blends action and strategy. 这款游戏融合了动作和策略。或者 To make a healthy and tasty drink, you can blend these fruits together with some honey. 要做出健康又好喝的饮料，你可以把这些水果和一些蜂蜜混合。
Let's begin by talking about the Rhine River. Just across the Rhine River from Germany, the lovely French city of Strasbourg draws travelers from far and wide to enjoy its unique blend of culture, architecture, and seasonal enchantment. So this lovely city, Strasbourg, is right across from Germany. So it's separated by the Rhine River, and it attracts many travelers every year from all sorts of places, from far and wide. And this phrase from far and wide just means people from very far away, from Brazil, are coming all the way to this French city just to see its unique blend of culture, architecture, and seasonal enchantment.
Yeah, but it attracts or draws travelers from all sorts of places in the world. It could be, yes, Brazil. It could be Argentina. It could be South Africa. It could be Australia. Lots of people want to go check this place out. And so they travel there because they want to enjoy its unique blend of culture, architecture, and seasonal enchantment. So that's why they go there. They want to enjoy the blend or mixture of all these different things. A blend is a mixture of different things. Sometimes, of course, if you drink Scotch whiskey or something, it could be blended with different types of ingredients and different types of whiskey, whereas some people prefer single malt Scotch. But all other cheaper kinds of Scottish liquor, or I should say whiskey, are blends. But in this particular case, we're talking about a mixture of all these different aspects. We've got culture, of course. French culture is very renowned all throughout the world. We've got architecture there, the design of the buildings. And we've also got seasonal enchantment, which refers to the magical feeling you have during the Christmas season.
Known for its rich history and warm atmosphere, Strasbourg offers a variety of attractions that give it a timeless appeal. So when travelers come and visit Strasbourg, they want to come and experience its rich history. So it has a long history of things and stories, and that's why people want to come here and learn about this place. And it gives a warm atmosphere. Usually wintertime, it's very cold, and especially around Christmas holidays, it's cold and you'll think it's very snowy and things like that, but you always want to feel warm and have this very cozy environment. So at Christmas time, we're always thinking about fireplaces and dressing warm and creating this homey and cozy atmosphere, this environment. So when travelers come and visit this place, they feel like it's very cozy. They like this environment.
That is a feature of living in cold climates. Of course, you lived in Canada before, right, Kiki? So you know that, yes, indeed, it's biting cold outside, but when you get inside, oh, it's so cozy, it's so warm. You can have yourself a nice cup of hot cocoa or coffee or something like that, and you can feel really comfortable. So that's something you can do there in Strasbourg. And yes, indeed, you can enjoy the history there, the warm atmosphere. And Strasbourg offers a variety of attractions that give it a timeless appeal. So, of course, attractions are things you go to check out. There are lots of attractions here in Taiwan. Of course, the mountain range, Kending, Tailuge, the National Palace Museum, the Shirley Night Market. Those are all attractions in Taiwan. And in this particular case, those attractions give this place a timeless appeal. If it's timeless, it could be at any time in history. It could be modern times. It could be 100 years ago. It could be 1,000 years ago. It would all be the same.
Right. And when something gives it a timeless appeal, you'll also feel like even though this is maybe something from history, but it can still feel very relevant to present day.
Indeed. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson for today. Let's continue to explore Strasbourg in the next part.
What better place to start your visit than Strasbourg's historic city center, the Grand Island? Chosen as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988, the island was the site of the ancient Roman military base of Argentoratum, the first known mention of which dates back to 12 BC. For a look at some of the amazing artifacts the Romans left behind, visit the Archaeological Museum in Rohan Palace. The palace itself, a masterpiece of French Baroque architecture, is also a major landmark well worth checking out.
第二部分我们看到名词 artifact， 意思是具有历史价值的手工艺品。例如 The cave contained many ancient artifacts. 这个洞穴藏有许多古代文物。或是 These delicate artifacts are displayed in the art museum. 这些精致的手工艺品在美术馆中展出。接下来介绍名词 masterpiece， 它有代表作、杰作或是名著的意思。例如This film is considered the director's masterpiece. 这部电影被视为那位导演的代表作。或者 Beethoven's Symphony No. 5 is considered his greatest masterpiece. 贝多芬的第5号交响曲被认为是他最伟大的杰作。
Let's talk about part 2 of today's Christmas in Strasbourg. What better place to start your visit than Strasbourg's historic city center, the Grand Island? Chosen as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988, the island was the site of the ancient Roman military base of Argentoratum. So the best place to start your visit in Strasbourg is its city center. And its city center has a lot of history, and it's called the Grand Island. The island was the site of an ancient Roman military base, and it's called the Argentoratum. So this site, the Grand Island, was also named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988. And that is why when you come visit Strasbourg, the best place to start is in the city center.
Right, so when you want to talk about the most important thing or the most interesting thing, you can use this pattern. What better place to start your visit than the historic city center. So you can use this in a lot of different situations. I could say, what better thing to eat in Danshui than their famous fish balls? So in other words, you can probably have fish balls in Danshui, and they are the most famous things there. And in this particular case, the best place to start your visit in Strasbourg is the historic city center, which is called the Grand Island. And it is so profound, it has such great history that UNESCO has chosen it as a World Heritage Site. They did so back in 1988. And why is this place so historically relevant? Why is it so famous in terms of history? Well, it was the site of an ancient Roman military base which was called Argentoratum, and that was first mentioned back in 12 BC, which goes back a long way. Therefore, this place has a lot of ancient history.
For a look at some of the amazing artifacts the Romans left behind, visit the Archaeological Museum in Rohan Palace. So if you like history, if you like to see these ancient artifacts that the Romans left behind, you can visit the Archaeological Museum, and it is in the Rohan Palace. And what an artifact is, usually it's something that is made by man or made by human. And it's usually something that's artistic, historical, and these are things that are left behind. Usually when you go to an archaeological site, you will see lots of artifacts that are left behind, and these artifacts help archaeologists tell the story of human history.
Right, so archaeologists are digging up things all the time, and they find these artifacts from ancient civilizations, their tableware, their vases, their grooming supplies. All those things are artifacts. And yes, indeed, if you want to see those things, you should go to this museum. They'll probably have some wonderful displays of these various artifacts, and then you can imagine what life was like there about 2,000 years ago or so. The palace itself, a masterpiece of French Baroque architecture, is also a major landmark well worth checking out. So yes, indeed, not only does this museum have artifacts, but it also has brilliant architecture. It's a masterpiece of French Baroque architecture, which is a period of history. The Baroque period, of course, has all sorts of things of interest, like Baroque music, Baroque art, Baroque architecture. And this is a masterpiece, which of course means a really great work of art, something worth noting. Of course, I could say The Three Musicians or Guernica are two of Picasso's masterpieces.
And a masterpiece really shows the craftsmanship or the artistry, the skill of the creator. So it really shows how this person has this amazing skill to create something.
Indeed. So yes, indeed, the building itself is a masterpiece of this architecture. And of course, it's also a major landmark that you should check out. A landmark, of course, is something in the scenery of a place that people notice and it really sticks out. Like, of course, here in Taipei, Taipei 101 is a major landmark. And of course, other tall buildings in other cities in Taiwan are landmarks in those places as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a tall building. It could be a statue, or it could be a smaller building, a governmental office, or in this case, a museum. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson for today. Let's listen now to the third part.
Right next to the palace stands Strasbourg Cathedral, widely regarded as one of the most beautiful Gothic cathedrals in Europe. Both huge and delicate, the cathedral's intricate facade is covered with highly detailed sculptures that tell vivid stories of centuries past. If you're feeling adventurous, climb to the cathedral's viewing platform to enjoy magnificent views of the entire city.
第三部分我们来看到 delicate 这个形容词的意思是精致的、精美的或是注重细节的。例如The delicate piece of furniture is made out of old wood. 那件精致的家具是由古老的木材制成的。或是 The operation is a delicate procedure. 这个手术的过程很精细。再来介绍形容词 intricate. 它是复杂精细的或是错综复杂的意思。例如 The dress was covered with an intricate lace pattern. 这件洋装覆满了复杂精细的蕾丝花样。又或者说 The movie has an intricate plot that some viewers may find difficult to follow. 这部电影剧情错综复杂，有些观众可能跟不上。下一个我们看到单字 adventurous， 这个形容词有喜欢冒险的，或是勇于探险的，敢于创新的意思。例如 Carrie is very adventurous and loves to travel. Carrie 非常喜欢冒险且喜爱旅游。或是 Josh is an adventurous eater. He'll try just about anything, no matter how strange. Josh 对吃很有冒险精神，他什么食物都敢尝试，不管多么奇怪。最后介绍 magnificent 这个形容词，它的意思是雄伟壮丽的，或是极好的。我们可以说 We climbed the mountain so we could see the magnificent view from the top. 我们爬上山以从顶端欣赏壮观的景色。又或者 Beth cooked a magnificent meal for her friends. Beth 为她的朋友们煮了一顿丰盛的大餐。
Let's talk about the third part of Christmas in Strasbourg. Right next to the palace stands Strasbourg Cathedral, widely regarded as one of the most beautiful Gothic cathedrals in Europe. So next to this Rohan Palace, there is a cathedral, the Strasbourg Cathedral. And what a cathedral is a really big church, and it is often taken care of by a bishop. And it's widely regarded as one of the most beautiful Gothic cathedrals. So Gothic is a style of architecture or a style of art. And now in modern days, modern society, often we associate Gothic with Goths. And those are usually people that dress up in dark clothing. And when we talk about a Gothic cathedral, usually these are types of churches that have a more pointier design, sharper edges. So this is very distinguishable from other types of church designs.
Right. So, of course, cathedral just to me means a big Catholic church. And, of course, every time I see the word cathedral, it reminds me of the song Winchester Cathedral, but I'm not going to break into song today. I will spare all of you. But in any case, this cathedral is a really great example of Gothic architecture. It's one of the most beautiful Gothic cathedrals in Europe. So if you're into Gothic architecture and if you're into really wonderful Catholic churches, you better check this place out. Both huge and delicate, the cathedral's intricate facade is covered with highly detailed sculptures that tell vivid stories of centuries past. So this sentence here describes Strasbourg Cathedral. It's both huge and delicate. Okay, if something's huge, it's very big. If something's delicate, it is refined. It has a lot of details. It could also mean something is easily broken. Oh, be careful with that vase. It's very delicate. Handle it with care. But in this context, it just means it's very fine. It's exquisite. It's intricate.
The cathedral's intricate facade is covered with highly detailed sculptures that tell vivid stories of centuries past. So on the walls of the cathedral, we can see these sculptures that are very, very detailed. So what a sculpture is, they are three-dimensional works of art that is usually carved by the artist, and the material that they use can either be wood or plaster.
Or stone. You can use all sorts of different materials to carve a sculpture. So yeah, check out the facade of this cathedral, and then you can see those highly detailed sculptures which tell vivid stories of centuries past. Okay, this happens, of course, in temples here in Taiwan. There are also very detailed and intricate sculptures on temples that will tell of moral tales or stories from the past. And you'll get these kind of stories if you look at those sculptures on the facade of this cathedral. A facade is usually the front side of a church or of a large building. Notice that the word facade, in this particular case, I don't think it has that diacritical mark, but it's supposed to have a little cedilla at the bottom, and that means that the letter C above it should be pronounced with the S sound, facade.
And here we see the word intricate. So the cathedral's intricate facade, it just means that The outside of this cathedral is very detailed, and it has a lot of features that are put on the outside of these walls to show its Gothic design and architecture. So to be intricate, you want to be very complicated or detailed to show or represent something.
Right, so you've got these intricate statues covering the facade, and they're highly detailed. They're sculptures, and they tell those vivid, lively stories of things that happened hundreds of years ago. And if you're feeling adventurous, climb to the cathedral's viewing platform to enjoy magnificent views of the entire city. That's very nice there. This cathedral actually has a viewing platform, just like there are in tall buildings all over the world. You can get a bird's eye view of the surrounding territory. And yes, if you're feeling adventurous, you can do that. To be adventurous means you like to do physical activity that is very challenging. Maybe you like mountain climbing or scuba diving or riding your bicycle around the island. You would be very adventurous if you like to do those sorts of things. And you can climb to the viewing platform. You probably have to go up a bunch of stairs or something. They probably won't have an elevator in that building. And you can enjoy these magnificent views of the entire city. Something's magnificent when it's really beautiful, it's extravagant, it's really great, it's elaborate. And note that the word magnificent has the word magnify in it, which means to make something bigger. Like if you want to read something on a piece of paper where the font is too small, you can use a magnifying glass.
And that comes to the end of part 1 of Christmas in Strasbourg. Now let's listen to our lovely Mandarin teacher, Henny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。先来看课文标题，它写到 A festive winter getaway。 那这边它用到名词 getaway， 原本是指逃跑逃离，尤其是指犯罪后逃跑逃离。像 a getaway car 就是指说罪犯他作案之后用来逃离犯罪现场的车。好，那么 getaway 它也可以引申指适合度假的地方或者是短假期短暂的假期。我们现在如果把这个 getaway 拆开来变成 get away， 则是一个常见的片语动词。那我们来学习这个片语的相关用法。好，第一个我们可以用 get away 去表达逃离挣脱。那么 get away from somebody 就可以表达逃离某人，离某人远一点。像 The robber jumped over the wall and got away from the officer。抢匪翻越那面墙，逃离了警员的追捕。还有像如果朋友感冒的时候，你可能会用开玩笑语气跟他说 Get away from me， 离我远一点啦。好，那么再看到第二个，我们可以用 get away 去表达离开的意思，后面可以接 from 加名词。像 I may not be able to get away from the office until 7 p.m.我可能要到晚上7点才有办法离开办公室。那么第三个 get away 它可以指外出度假，例如 I've been stressed out lately. I really need to get away for a couple of days to recharge. 我最近压力很大，真的很需要去度假放松个2-3天，好好充电一下。好，那有一个相关用语叫做 get away from it all， 它是表达说放下工作与烦恼，远离尘嚣，好好的放松沉淀心灵，也就是有抛开一切去度个假的意思。那么也补充一个用法是 get away with，它则是表达逃脱逃避，用来表达说侥幸的逃过某事或某个后果，可能像是某个责任或是惩罚等等。Get away with 后面是要接名词或动名词来说明所做的事，那这个事可能是坏事错事等等。好，课文一开始写到迷人的法国城市史特拉斯堡就隔着莱茵河与德国相望，吸引着来自四面八方的旅客前来。那文中用到 travelers from far and wide 来表达来自四面八方的旅客。这个 far and wide 字面意思是又远又广，那也就是各地四处的意思。 From far and wide 就可以表达来自四面八方，来自各地。那也可以用 from far and near 或是 from near and far 去表达相同意思。举例来说 Every year, people come from far and near to attend the festival. 每年人们从四面八方来参加这个节庆。好，那以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Blend. Debbie made a delicious drink containing a blend of fruits, orange juice, and ice. Masterpiece. As he wrote his novel, Curtis hoped that it would one day be seen as a masterpiece. Landmark. A church completed in 1922 is one of the main landmarks in the small town. Cathedral. Visiting the ancient cathedral filled Carol with a sense of wonder. Delicate. Ginger wore a delicate necklace made of gold and diamonds. Sculpture. The artist's new show features several large wooden sculptures of jungle animals. Magnificent. The castle's architecture left everyone in awe of its magnificent beauty.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I am Kiki.
See you next time.